On the news, House of Reps Committee on Pension reminds pension fund administrators on the need to comply with corporate social responsibility law.
Once all companies in Nigeria will abide by the issue of corporate social responsibility, it is helping the government in providing the necessary amenities to the populace.
Public Accounts Committees of West African states declare open 11th Conference on Strengthening Oversight of Public Debt and Deepening Fiscal Discipline.
While it is widely accepted that public debt remains a vital instrument for financial development, especially in emerging economies, it must be emphasized that such debt must remain sustainable, transparent, and justifiable.
Plus, Senate replies Senator Natasha that it will review her resumption as soon as the judicial process on the matter is concluded, just as PDP kicks. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Stella Inameti. We begin the news as the House of Representatives Committee on Pension is reminding pension fund administrators on the need to always comply with the corporate social responsibility law as provided for by the Act guiding their operations. Committee Chairman Hussaini Mohammed Jallo stated this during an engagement with the Management of Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate to appraise last year's budget performance. National Assembly correspondent Issa Mohammed has more.
Restating its commitment to the welfare of pensioners on the heels of the ongoing pension reforms, the committee says it will not tolerate any failure to capture appropriations for social corporate responsibilities that better the lives of clients.
Once all companies in Nigeria will abide by the issue of corporate social responsibility, it is helping the government in providing the necessary amenities to the populace, and that will go a long way in ameliorating the problem being faced by Nigerians as a whole.
PITAD will continue to explore all means possible in conjunction with other stakeholders to enhance the welfare of its pensioners in consonance with the renewed oath mandates of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
It could be recalled that the Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate, PITAD, was established in compliance with the provisions of Section 42, Subsection 1 of the Pension Reform Act 2014, empowered to wind down the functions of the old Pensions Office. In Abuja, Issa Muhammad, NTA News.
Act decisively to strengthen the oversight of public debt, deepening fiscal discipline and ensuring public resources are delivered to the people. This was the message of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, at the opening of the 11th Annual Conference of Public Accounts Committees of West African Parliaments holding in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's domestic and foreign debt at first quarter 2024 stood at 121.67 trillion naira, indicating growth of 24.99% on quarter basis. In line with this development, Nigeria is leveraging on the WAPAC conference to chart the way of addressing debt surge in the member nations.
Rising debt levels, elevated debt service costs, constrained revenues, and shrinking development finance collide with, of course, the usual growing, almost unlimited demands for public spending, public financing, and provision to the people of infrastructure.
The rising burden of public debt has become a matter of urgent national and regional concern. While it is widely accepted that public debt remains a vital instrument for financial development, especially in emerging economies, it must be emphasized that such debt must remain sustainable, transparent, and justifiable.
Other participants stressed the need for strong parliamentary oversight in the pursuit of vital goals as West African nations grappled with severe fiscal pressures of public debt.
I urge us all to see this as a continental responsibility to ensure that our debt framework are transparent, accountable, and sustainable for the benefit of present and future generations.
Public debt, when managed prudently, can be a tool for growth and prosperity. Yet, when left unchecked, it becomes a burden that erodes economic stability and threatens the welfare of future generations.
It is expected that meaningful outcomes will emerge where nations will be freed from the weight of unsustainable debts and align with the needs of citizens. From the National Assembly, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Now to talk more on the 11th Annual Conference of Public Accounts Committees of West African Parliament is the Vice Chairman of the Nigerian House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts, Jeremiah Umaru. You're welcome to Parliamentary News.
Thank you very much.
Now, what are the insights so far from the ongoing discussions of this conference?
The 11th Annual Conference of West African Association of Public Accounts Committee. It's it's ongoing at the moment. We started from Monday, and up to now the program is on. And the theme of this year's conference is strengthening the public debt, and of course the role of the public accounts and finance committees. And also in the House we have loans, debts committee, our role. And we have heard from different resource persons, we have heard from different countries how they've been able to go around this, and so far. And it's actually a very burning issue around the West African countries, and if you will put the African nation as a whole. And you agree with me that yes, debt is not it's not a bad thing on its own, but the application and the proper management of it is actually what is more critical for us as a parliament. We look at the oversighting of these borrowings, looking at even the agreement, because we from what we have learned, even the agreement, some of the agreements are not well defined. You know, yes, we're borrowing to tackle capital projects and so infrastructure and so on and so forth. This is a normal thing everywhere globally, and but the issue is how well are we aware of the agreements, how well as a parliament do we oversight this loan, and to ensure that the proper application and management of it is done properly. And also on the part of the audit, the Auditor General for the Federation, how well is he carrying out the audit of this debt? The DMO, the office responsible for these borrowings, how well are they keeping record, track, agreement, and so on of all this? So these were some of the things that, or part of the things that we discussed. We look at different cases, scenarios, Nigeria, Ghana, and so on. All these were issues that were discussed from Monday till now, and the discussion is still ongoing.
Borrowing should be positive for capital and infrastructure. What is the Parliament doing to ensure there is transparency and accountability?
So while I agree with you that yes, borrowing is a normal thing, the proper management of this monies is what is critical. And for us as a parliament, and of course members of the Public Accounts Committee, we have done a lot of recoveries here. The reason why government borrow is because there are shortfalls in revenue. And part of the things that cause these shortfalls are leakages in the system, leakages in, you hear one agency saying they have generated trillions of naira. If you look at the account, these trillions are not in the account. So you begin to wonder what is happening, you know. So recently, the Public Accounts Committee of the House actually recovered a lot of money for the government. And there are a lot of leakages. Once these leakages are blocked, some of these borrowings will reduce. So, but there are a lot of leakages in the system, and that's why we're having shortfall in revenue. of course, a lot of agencies, government agencies, are even abusing Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2007. Surplus excess revenues that are supposed to remit to the government, they are not remitting in trillions of naira. So you begin to wonder what is happening. In taxation, taxes, there are a lot of companies that are not paying taxes and nobody is saying anything about it. So, of course, that's why because government needs to work, and that's why government is borrowing. And for us as a parliament, I think we need to do more in ensuring that some of these monies that are being borrowed are applied rightly. They go to where they are supposed to go. Monies borrowed by government are not supposed to be used to pay salaries and carry out overhead expenses, but capital projects mostly. So once these monies are tied to capital project, I think, and properly oversight, because we as a parliament, we need to carry out proper oversight of these monies. You know, we have committee that is directly in charge of debt and loans. Proper oversight of this will help the government, will help the country to ensure that there is adequate management of this fund. Also, Office of the Auditor General needs to carry out proper audits on some of these borrowings that is being done. Then, as a parliament and every other person involved in this borrowings, the agreement, because that's another area. There are issues in the agreement that may not be clear. There should be proper understanding of the agreement of what we are borrowing and where we are borrowing from. When we have this proper understanding of this agreement, I think everybody will be clear. Because after borrowing, later you now begin to see issues that you don't even understand. They begin to tell you from World Bank, they begin to tell you, oh, there is a clause here that you need to do A, B, C, or XYZ. Man, we need to really look at it very critically. DMO, Auditor General, the National Assembly, Parliament needs to look at it very critically before some of these borrowings are carried out.
Okay, going forward, what are the West African parliaments taking home in addressing public debt?
It is expected that at the end of this conference, member nations, countries will be able to know how to oversight the public debt, how to ensure that the right thing is done, to ensure that there is proper accountability in the way and manner public debt is being managed. Also, we expect part of the outcome is we're expecting that Auditor Generals of nations should be able to know what to do at any point in time to audit the debts, to audit the borrowings made by government, you know, and also the capacity of the parliament to be able to oversight agencies responsible for this borrowing, because once this is not in place, at the end of the day, we'll just be borrowing and we don't even know what we're borrowing for, we don't even know what we're doing. But like I said, borrowing is supposed to be tied to projects. There should be a plan. Before even borrowing, there should be a plan for the purpose at which we're borrowing, and there should be proper oversighting of this borrowing. So once this is done, you know, I don't think borrowing it's negative on its own, but let there be proper management of this fund, basically.
Thank you for your insights, Vice Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts, Jeremiah Umaru.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Public Accounts Committee of the House of Representatives has described as inaccurate some media reports which quoted the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, as alleging that the current administration was involved in reckless borrowing and unsubstantiated debt. The committee clarifies that the Speaker, represented by Majority Leader of the House, Julius Ihonvere, at the West African Association of Public Accounts Committee Annual Conference, did not criticize Nigeria's debt profile. Instead, it says the Speaker charged members of the Public Accounts Committee from West African countries to deepen their oversight of public debt expenditure in order to ensure that there is value for money. In another development, the Green Chambers Committee on Land Transport has asked the Minister of Transportation, Saidu Al-Kali, to appear before Parliament within 48 hours over the recent derailment of a Kaduna-bound train conveying 618 passengers. At a scheduled investigative hearing attended by the management of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, members of the House Committee expressed concern over the minister's absence. The lawmakers unanimously resolved to suspend the probe until the minister appears in person to respond to questions regarding the train derailment.
We demand the presence of the Honorable Minister within 48 hours to appear before this Honorable House to account to Nigerians on the derailment, the recent devastating derailment between Abuja, Kaduna Rail.
This meeting cannot really proceed, and it is not because we are not here. We are ready to go on with this process. We want to investigate the issues that have been happening, the incessant issues, threatening the lives of Nigerians concerning our railways. We are here to debate it, to investigate it, to interrogate it, and the minister is turning the process.
It's time now to pause for some messages. Parliamentary news continues shortly after the break. Do stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Parliamentary News reaching you from NTA Parliament, Abuja. You can follow the platforms on the screen for more updates. Moving on, the National Assembly has communicated Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan that the issue of her resumption is not administrative, but sub judice, as the matter on her suspension is pending before the Court of Appeal. The communication was in response to a letter addressed to the clerk of the National Assembly from Senator Natasha, in which she stated her intention to resume Senate duties, explaining that the suspension period imposed on her by the Senate expires on the 4th of September. The acting clerk to the National Assembly, as directed, informed Senator Natasha that the suspension will be reviewed as soon as the judicial process on the matter is concluded. Senator Natasha was suspended for 6 months on the 6th of March 2025 as recommended by the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition for violating Senate standing rules with regards to seating arrangement in the Senate chamber. Her attempt to gain access into the complex on 21st July 2025 was unsuccessful, as she was denied entry by National Assembly security operatives. In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has condemned what it described as an attempt to bar Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan from resuming in the Senate after serving her 6-month suspension. In a statement, PDP's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, faulted the reported action of the clerk of the National Assembly, which, according to the opposition party, is a calculated move to silence Akpoti-Uduaghan and deny the people of Kogi Central their right to representation. The party described the move as provocative, stressing that it does not only violate the 1999 Constitution as amended and the standing rules of the Senate, but also poses a grave danger to democratic governance and national stability. In Asaba, the Delta State House of Assembly has dismissed a petition on an alleged unlawful premature retirement of one Silver Line, Oristere Ojo, from the service of the College of Education Warri for lack of merit. Godfrey Nzekwe reports.
The House Committee on Public Petitions, led by the chairman Matthew Omonade, presented its report on the alleged unlawful premature retirement of Sivalin Orisharenejo from the service of the College of Education Warri. The committee's report detailed the investigative hearing, the petitioner's case, respondents' submission, committee's findings and recommendation, which was thereafter adopted after unanimous support from members of the House. Following the adoption, the Speaker Amumo Timiguo instructed the clerk to communicate the resolution of the House to the management of the College of Education Warri.
While the primary school testimonial was bearing Delta State and carried the name Orisenojo Sivalin MT, the primary school certificate had on it the name Orisenojo Maxim and issued by Midwestern State of Nigeria, and that they could not have been the same person, even though both documents had 1974 as the year of examination and graduation. Even the year of entrance into Horsey College Warri in 1973 and the year of graduation of 1978, 5 years from graduation day, it should be said, in fact, that 5 years after admission, the petitioner should be the same person graduating. That from the uncontroverted evidence, it is undeniable that the petitioner is neither the same person as Maxim Orisenojo, nor was he born on the 20th May 1964. Rather, from the records, the petitioner was born on 20th May 1959. That the petitioner ordinarily ought to have retired on 20th May 2019. That the petitioner was due for retirement and was duly retired from the service of the College of Education Warri. The retirement of the petitioner from service by the first respondent was not premature and not unlawful. Rather, it was the petitioner who, through fraudulent means, tied his apron string to the first respondent and collected salaries and other emoluments for additional 3 years. That this petition is frivolous, baseless, vexatious, and gold digging.
I think members will not be ready to debate this particular petition because it is very clear. It is very clear to everyone. So let me just put the question straight. Those in favor of the recommendations in the report of the committee that the committee urges the House to discontinue this petition for lack of merit and dismiss it, and that the committee urges the House to affirm the retirement of the petitioner from the College of Education Warri, that the committee urges the House to bar the petitioner from presenting this petition again before the Delta State House of Assembly. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Earlier, the Speaker welcomed members back from their annual recess. In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
And that concludes parliamentary news for this evening. For more updates, kindly follow NTA Parliament on the platform scrolling on your screen. Thanks for staying tuned. Once again, I am Stella Inameti. Bye for now.